Good morning. Denise Dryden here. I found that I'm still in Bainbridge, in Winslow, and I found this great little covered porch where I'm out of the rain, but you can still hear the seagulls. So I thought I would talk to you today from the perspective of being a novice, okay? Being a novice. So, it's when we take something new on in our lives, when we go through changes, when we have new opportunities, even when we have growth and development that sort of says, come on, come this way. Let's go do this. Let's go learn something new. And sometimes it's when there's challenges, like, I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before, and I'm a complete newbie, right? For those of you who know me, and for those of you who are starting to get curious about what I do, I coach, and my work is with parents who have teens and young adults in therapeutic programs. Young adults who are finding their feet. Some of my favorite work is working with that 18 to 25-year-old when they're figuring out, do I want to go to college? What do I want to do in college? How do I change my major when, with my parents? How do I negotiate with my parents for something different? Stuff like that. Adults exploring transition, of course, going through changes in relationship, relocation, health issues. And then my new one is that I end up coaching a lot of sensitives and empaths. And that's a pretty new field for me to step into as a coach and say that, maybe I'm not a novice. Maybe I actually have something to offer here, right? So I work with novices in all of these different fields in their lives because I understand novices, because I am a novice, because I've done this so many times for the first time. So, true to the nature of this kind of video that I do, I'm going to start with a definition. And a definition of a novice is a person who is new or inexperienced in a field or a situation. New and inexperienced. Doesn't mean that they are horrible. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. It means that they're new and they're inexperienced, right? New to the circumstances in which she or he were placed. Like, I've never been here before. I don't know how to do this. Not experienced. So think about this. How often do you allow yourself to go into a situation where you are a complete novice, where you're going to have to learn something new, right? Oh, hi, Kelly. I'm glad you're on here. Whether it's a job or a relationship or a hobby or, a challenge. How often do you say, I don't know how to do this, and I'm going to learn how to do this because it's important, right? It's really important. So yeah, there's this lack of experience, and you're going to be a rookie, and you're going to be a newbie, and you're not going to know what you're doing. The terms they used was a learner, a neophyte, a fledgling. Yeah. And you're going to be insecure, and you're going to lack confidence, right? And you're going to be totally clueless at times, completely clueless, because, we've never done this before. And it's about how we navigate. So when we're novices, own it proudly. Like, I've never done this before. I'm starting from scratch. I don't understand this process. And it requires vulnerability. It requires honesty. It requires courage. It most definitely requires curiosity. Like, I can see what's going on over there. How do I learn how to do that, right? And it requires tenacity, which, it means you have to pick yourself back up and get back out there. And because what we're doing is we're starting to establish confidence in another field, confidence in something we don't know about. So what I'm seeing out there on Facebook, in the readings I do on different writers on Facebook, Spirit Library, in the work I'm doing, in the therapeutic work, is there's a bunch of new things that we're going to be asked to get some experience about. And so I'm going to ask you to become a novice and think about maybe exploring some of these areas, like stepping out of a life that's too small for you, absolutely too small. Doesn't work, can't do it anymore. Stepping into a life where emotions and feelings and emotional intelligence is one of your top priorities, one of your top skills. How do you start to work with feelings and the language of feelings and the vibration of feelings? Gender rebalancing. You know, we have so much going on with recognizing the masculine and the feminine energies and what we've been doing to females on our planet, what roles males have played, and how do we rebalance all of that? Sensitives and empaths. What happens when you have 17 parts of your brain that are more open than others, and you hear and you see things and you know things, but you don't know what to do with that? Learning differences. What would happen if you said, you know what, I am a unique learner. My child is a unique learner. My child needs something different, and I need to roll my sleeves up and say, this is what the doctors are saying. This is what the teachers are saying. What do I want to learn? What else do I want to know? What are some other ways of looking at this? I'm seeing a rise in anxiety. How are we coping with anxiety? How do we step into or away from medication, pharmaceuticals, and look at natural, organic processes and awarenesses of what builds those anxiety and what tools we can use? And then there's always the language of the heart, which kind of goes to the feelings and emotions, which is per heart math. You know, our heart intelligence is 5,000 times more powerful than our brain. And we haven't even begun to access this. And as we sort of move forward into 2018, I think that that's one of the key things that we're going to be asked to do more of, which is, what's the language of the heart? How do we start understanding this? So, according to Allison Nappy, who's on Facebook, and she's a coach and a tarot reader, she's awesome. To be a novice is having enthusiasm for growth and unbridled participation, which, if you know me, that's kind of what I do. It's an enthusiasm for growth. Let's get out there. So she says that in 2018 is our year to learn how to thrive by refusing to deny our own nature any longer. To find out what your heart is calling, longing for you, for your own expression. So 2018 is this invitation to say, things are crumbling behind us, right? How do we step forward and understand what our options are? And what I think it is we're starting to learn about compassion and heart language. And we're going to be complete novices at this. So what does it truly mean to be a novice? It means that we have to have courage to know that you're skilled, that you have skills in so many areas, and that now it's just applying those skills towards a new field. That you're a beginner in only one new area of learning, not in your whole life. That you're going to trust that you're going to go through some doubts and some embarrassment, and you're going to be awkward, and you're going to make some faux pas, right? And that you're gaining experience and insight while you're doing this. That you're building one tool and one skill at a time. That you're reframing, you're reforming yourself. You're making sure that everything you do is coming at a new, different context, right? So that's just going to be the part that you have to understand. Hey, I'm learning, and everything's going to change. So some of the things I'd like to invite you to become a novice in 2018 as we go in this next maybe 7 to 8 days towards the new moon, the blank moon, where we get to write our future from scratch, is be a novice at being present. Learn what presence is and living at the speed of presence. Be softer, more available, compassionate. How do you learn to be compassionate? How do you learn to hold compassion in your body? Being a novice at listening, being a really good listener, a deep listener, and listening and asking questions to say, tell me more about that. And if that is, what about this? Tell me what else. And just keep listening. Be a person with clarity. Clarity of who you are, what you want, what you don't want, how you set boundaries, how you communicate that to someone else. Be a novice and learn how to be self-aware. What does my body need? What does my soul need? What do I need in order to move forward? What is self-compassion? And what's the role that how often am I compassionate towards myself? So courage and happiness comes when we learn new things, when we take on something new and we sort of slowly get it and we start to master. For me, that's the intoxicating part about taking on a new challenge and learning. again, for those of you who've been following me on Facebook, you know that I've been on this journey. I packed everything up and put it in storage and moved to Bainbridge. And I moved to Bainbridge for 6 months to see what wants to happen. I'm still holding all of my coaching, and I'm doing this sort of digital nomad work. But I'm also going, I don't know what the future is asking of me, and I need to learn this. So I'm a novice at being alone. This is the first time I've ever lived completely alone, without children, without a husband, without a partner, without a work group where, you know, I can make it through the night, but I got to get to work where there's social and there's interactions. This is the first time I'm doing aloneness. I'm untethered from any of the old ways. I'm learning to live in the speed of presence every day and allowing what wants to happen. So that's where my edge is. That's where I'm the novice. And I'm taking on a new challenge, and I'll tell you more about that in future videos. So the best tools that I have when I'm a novice, it's flat out the same ones we always talk about. Show up, be present, right? Show up, pay attention, notice what you notice, speak your truth, be vulnerable. Go, I don't know how to do this. Wait a minute, you just did something that I don't understand. Can you explain it to me? Because I want to learn that. I want to find out how that works. Whether that's how to talk to my teenager, how to talk to my partner, how to love myself. Get curious, ask questions, right? Speak your truth. And then the fourth one is let go of expectations. Always. You can't create something new if you're holding on to, well, I'll do it as long as it fits within this box, right? And then, oh, wait a minute, I don't have enough room in this box for that. You have to sort of let go of your expectations and attachments and go where it takes you. That's part of being a novice, right? You're going to learn new tools. So roll up your sleeves and get your badass novice skills going. And if you need any assistance with that, let me know. I'm a coach. I help. I talk. I listen. You can find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com. And if you're curious, look it up. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful week. And we'll talk next week before the new moon. Take care. Bye-bye.